Okay, that's going. Shaboom, shebang. Hello, I think. I think it's going. It is. All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Houston. Houston, we have a problem. I totally thought today was 250, but today's 249. 250 will be on Monday. Big episode 250. And I also realized there's a string dangling off of this thing. That's really annoying. One sec. I don't like that. And I can't actually see it. So I'm gonna hopefully... Oh, there we go. All right, cool. String gone. So yeah, Monday's 250. I thought today was 250. But anyway, that's a lot of shows. The news off the top. Wes Christian did a big long interview where he was talking about how the right way to trap the shorts is exactly how Torchlight, MMTLP, NextBridge, etc. did it, by offering the preferred share and then going private, and that scared the hell out of FINRA because they realized the liability that was suddenly coming due. And even he has the legal opinion that they did this to protect the short hedge funds from realizing that liability. And then he said that audio overshot. Audio might be overshot. Sorry about that. I'm seeing big red lines there. Okay, is that better? All right. So I'm not now screaming past the line there. Then he wanted to say that there is going to be revelation in the coming weeks of short interest on some stocks that will make GME, AMC, etc. just pale in comparison. I'm wondering, everyone's trying to speculate what it is. Some people are saying, oh, it's all about MMTLP. Others are saying it's a different stock entirely. Get It Got put out the notion on Superstonk that it's Sears, and then Superstonk deleted it. So he posted it again, and Superstonk deleted it again. Even though he included like the Ryan Cohen tweet showing Sears, Superstonk was like, no, don't talk about this. So, yeah. And then the other big news I did put in the description is Janet Yellen saying the U.S. is going to reach its debt limit on the 19th, which is next Thursday? All right, because the 20th is Friday, right? Yeah, next Thursday. So we're projected to reach our debt limit next Thursday. Originally, it was supposed to be June. Oops. But interest rates have gone so high so fast that we're now paying more money out in interest on bonds that we have out there, we've issued, and it's eaten up that money quicker than it would have otherwise. So she's going to have to put in extraordinary measures to keep government costs down, and Congress is going to have to pass raising the debt ceiling. And people are constantly like, well, why raise it? Just let it fail. If the United States defaults on debt, we talked about this in the past. If the United States defaults on debt, then every pension fund, Social Security fund, hedge fund, index fund, mutual fund, sovereign wealth fund, etc., around the world all fail instantly. They all become insolvent, plunging the entire globe into an unrecoverable depression. I'm not talking about like Depression 1929. I'm talking not a single old person gets a penny and they all starve to death. We lose anyone over age 65 on the entire planet, right? I'm talking 30-40% unemployment rates. This is not the gamble you want to make. You do not want to gamble with the debt ceiling. It will destroy the economy in ways that will be unrecoverable and will be eating each other. That is the outlook of if you let the United States default on its debt. Okay? Like, don't play with that. Just don't. Things cost money. We got to pay for it. Tough shit. We can shave things off in the budget, but we still have to pay on the debt we've taken out. And if you don't raise the debt ceiling and we don't pay that debt, then our debt becomes worthless, and our debt is the foundation of every investment fund on earth. So, don't default on the debt. There. Boing. Oops. Boing. There we go. Okay. And off. Suck it, losers. Okay. Those are the two big news things I had right off the bat. Do I have anything else to add? I don't think so. But here we go. Okay. Leo B got to be first this time. Good job, Leo B. Good job. You got here especially early. Nick M. Houston, not to be Mr. Negative, but opening up trading again on MMTLP to me is highly unlikely. Let's just be real and stop the hopium. There's no way the judge comes back and says, okay, FINRA, open it up. Not with that attitude. That's what I have to say. Like, fight for what's right. And what's right is 2 more days of trading. So fight for that. Don't just lay down and take it. I never understood the psychology of giving up, right? Like, if there's a shot, take it. Be a goddamn legend. Like, I don't understand the well, it's hard. It's not gonna go our way. Because if it does go your way, your name gets put on like plaques and statues, and they write books about it. Like, be a legend, man. No skin off your back to fight for what's right. Especially in situations like you fight for what's right and you end up losing, then you lost. Okay. But if you don't fight for what's right and you end up losing, well, then you're just a loser. So buck up, Buttercup. You gotta do what you can to raise awareness. And it might not be this battle that gets won, but you know what? That puts in the forefront of the mind of regulators and elected officials the next time it happens. They go, oh crap, it happened again. We have now a stock that has 4 million investors all pissed off and yelling at us rather than 65,000. So fight. Yeah, it might seem like Sisyphus pushing a rock up a hill. But you know what? You get that rock high enough up the hill and you let it go, it's going to steamroll something. So it'll cause some damage on the way down. So, fight, man. Fight for your right to party, says Peter Joy. Yeah, fight. Leo B. Houston, I had a glitch in my TD account today. 36,000 for a brief 1 minute before it went back to normal. I think the bogus Acme QSIP was having a moment. Anyone else see this in the TD account? I don't have TD, so I did not see that. But is it like still record like as a blip throughout your day? If you open it up, you'll see like this weird spike. I wonder if somebody did a gray market sale for some reason. G-Font, real talk. Has Wes ever accomplished anything in the shorting space? All I see are words and no action. He's sued a bunch, and he's the only lawyer who specializes in suing this stuff. But I don't know if he's ever specifically won a case, because a lot of it has to do with being able to subpoena the DTCC, and they've never responded to a subpoena ever. So, not a clue. He may have reached settlements, and those settlements might, have terms that aren't releasable. And then I see money over Romeo says Wes accomplished anything. It's probably signed NDAs. Yeah, they may have signed NDAs with short hedge funds. But short hedge funds have been sued and lost. They lost. Actually, short hedge funds sued Overstock and lost. So the hedge funds went out and did their lawsuit against Overstock, and then they lost that. So there are entities along the way that can lose these things. G-Font, secondly, I think you should really have Richard Newton on as a guest. His latest GME stuff is pretty awesome. He has a channel and pretty great GME spreadsheet. Okay, I don't know much of Richard Newton, so I'll have to, make us an introduction. Let's do something. It'll be poor stupid. Yeah, I couldn't sell whatever Thin Air TD decided was worth 36,000. Yeah. Danger the Banjo. What is keeping the market from totally tanking? There are so many indicators to say that this market should be crashing hard, but yet this Titanic is still afloat. It seems worse than 2008, but here we are. Plunge protection team, 100%. There's still tons of quantitative easing going on, and it is keeping everything afloat. Problem is that the more air you fill this thing with, the bigger the pop is going to be when it finally explodes. So I mean, we can let it deflate, or we can have it explode. And that's basically the two options we have right now. And everyone is scared. They're hoping that they can just keep inflating until it's someone else's problem. But some of those things, it just becomes everyone's problem in the end. We are just doing a very, very, very poor job. So we do need to be focused on quantitative tightening. And, it is somewhat bringing down inflation, but I think as much as inflation is coming down, a large portion of that is housing and cars. People can't buy cars, people can't buy houses, but fuel prices are still pretty high. Food prices are still pretty high. There's still a supply chain problem for a lot of products out there. And so I think we're probably getting to a stable inflation zone, but not where it should be at, 2%. William Morgan, Retail Investor March, January. The Retail Investor March is January 27th, 28th at SEC offices nationwide, but primarily in DC. Yes, a permit has been applied for and granted. Someone from some senator's office called the organizer, was asking him about it. So they know, and certain senators might be out there to be like, "Well, fuck you, SEC." Have you guys had a chance to watch the Bernie Madoff documentary? It's like a 4-part thing on Netflix. They do make a note that people were telling the SEC for 8-9 years that Bernie Madoff was running a Ponzi scheme. It's like, there's a Ponzi scheme. These are how it's running. This is what's happening. He's not making any trades. It's a Ponzi scheme. It's a Ponzi scheme. It's a Ponzi scheme. And when the SEC would investigate, they'd have Bernie come into the office, or they would show up to his office, and he'd give them just fake documents, made up names, a DTC phone number that doesn't exist. And they would go, "Thank you." And they'd put it in a drawer and never follow up. So they went on for years that way. And then, the economic crisis in 2008 happened. Everything crashed. Everyone tried to pull their money out of the Ponzi scheme. Bernie's like, "Don't have their money. All done." And the SEC got ripped a new one in the Senate, basically saying, "You didn't do your job. Your job is to regulate, to be like pit bulls, and you didn't do it. Other people did your job for you, handed it to you on a silver platter, and you still didn't do it." And I think we might be in that zone again, that the SEC is fully aware of what's happening. I mean, the type of returns that Bernie Madoff was making, running a hedge fund on one side and a market maker on the other, sounds a lot like a Citadel situation, where you got a market maker on one side and a hedge fund on the other, and you're selling a bunch of stuff that doesn't exist. And the thing about Citadel is that they won't let people take their money out, whereas Bernie let people take their money out. Like, "Oh yeah, here's your money," and they go look for more customers to pull more money in. Citadel is like, "No, you can get 6%. That's it." So if they're running a Ponzi scheme, then they're running a much tighter ship on that Ponzi scheme than anything else. Dan Harris, which is the one to own, AMC or Ape? I mean, if you're going to go out and buy, you'd buy the cheaper one because they're going to be worth the same in the end, right? So why would you buy AMC if AMC is not going to be worth any different? We could buy Ape that's cheaper, and Ape's going to be worth one AMC at some point. Purchasing Ape is probably the better idea. Bitcoin, the powers can keep this market afloat forever. They can make or ignore rules or facts. The government is never going to stop hedge funds because they need their help to do it. I don't know if I agree, because the hedge funds still have boatloads of liability. And like 2008, if that liability comes to a head because the blue chips crash and bonds crash and mortgage-backed securities crash and things like that, then they're all exposed. There's the hedge funds essentially just blink out of existence at that point. So I don't know if they can keep it going forever. Hedge funds have a lot of power while things are going good. But the minute the shit hits the fan, the hedge funds lose all their power because they have no leverage anymore. They can no longer meet their obligations, financial obligations. And once you can't do that, you don't have any power. So, I guess if you want to crash everything, you just don't vote for the debt ceiling. Crash everything, and then we all eat each other, and then that's it. Nature reclaims itself, and tree roots go through our rib cages. That's what happens. Richard White, destiny will deliver an outcome that is correct, just, and inevitable, though it may take a long time to come to be. I like this quote. Yeah, destiny to hurry its ass up. Pour no more. First trade says I have to pay $335 per stock certificate, $25 to reorg process QSIP MLT to register my shares in my name by 1/20/23. They fucking crazy. Yeah, I would call them back, tell them that the S1 says there's no charge, and ask why the hell they suck so much of their job. And there's no time limit to register either. You should be able to register at any time. So this whole registering by 1/20/23 is a load of hogwash. It's a complete false date. Oh, and there's the reset. Where'd you go? There's the first trade one. Daphne says, honestly, lately, I'm wondering what GME is doing. Part of me thinks GME is waiting for the 20th. If you guys don't really know what the doomps are, they're the deep out of the money puts. So if we look, let's go to... okay. Bam. Boom, boom. Twink. And there we go. Okay. So this is the options chain. This is just the yield simple one from Yahoo. So this is for today. This is the options chain for today. We had, let's go puts. Wait, that's calls. Where's my click for puts? Puts. Or puts down here. Oh, there's puts. Okay, that's what they do. So we had, there's not very much of these cheap ones because, these January 13th is not yearlies. But if we go to January 20th, look at these numbers. Okay. The open options for calls, lots of them. So the open interest is here, this side. We have tens of thousands at pretty ridiculous high numbers. 12,000 at 125, 26,000 at 200, 169,000 at 237, right? 29,000 at 950. So we've got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of these options. Probably, I don't know, just in the deep out of the money calls alone, 100 million shares right there, right? Okay, now look at the puts. 25-cent puts, 140,000. That's 14 million shares. 50-cent puts, 112,000. That's 11 million shares. 75 cents, 44,000. That's over 4 million shares. We got 26,000 at $1.25. So that's 2.6 million shares. 3.2 million shares. 2.3 million shares. 800,000. 1.1 million. All at unattainable levels. None of these are going to be in the money. So we're looking at close to 100 million shares here. So we got 200 million shares in deep out of the money puts and calls that are going to expire next Friday. And almost every single solitary one of these is being used as an identifier to meet Reg Show requirements. That they sold naked, they don't have the shares, so they went out and for pennies, right? List price for $1, you can buy this sucker and cover 100 shares that you shorted at who knows how much. And the minute those disappear, the cheapest available becomes $5, and those are leaps for 2024. Excuse me. Where's my dates? Let's look up 2024. Cheapest puts we got the 250. All right, those are 26 cents. So it's going to cost you $26 versus the $1. So it's 26 times more expensive to get the cheapest put possible than it was for the stuff that was at 25 cents before. And 2025, well, we got 2025 trying to go 2 years out. 2025, you can get $3 at 60 cents, so $60 is what's going to cost you, or 125 for the $5. So now you're looking at 60 to 125 times more expensive for puts that are, $2.75 more than what's going to be expiring. So it's going to cost them a fortune to try and hide these things in deep out of the money puts and calls. These aren't going to be able to do it. Maybe if you're an options writer, and you somehow can write the covered or uncovered options for it, you can sell puts at 25 cents at a penny each. So it's paying $1, right? You can sell a couple 100,000 of them, make yourself a couple $100,000. Okay. But is it going to be worth it? I don't think it's because with the new rules, it locks up all the shares and you can't do anything with them. So they're not going to be too many people offering these super cheap things. And see, there's only 99, 318. There's nominal numbers in these puts being purchased for 2 years out. So they're waiting for, I think, the 20th. And the things that will happen after the 20th when they lose their ability to cover their positions or short positions with these dumps, they're just gonna freak out. Something's gonna happen. There's forced closures, buying, close to in the money. Hopefully they trigger and then they can cover their problems that way. Yeah. So it's gonna be. I think that's what they're waiting for. I mean, if I were a Ryan Cohen and I was planning something, I would plan something right around then. Let those suckers expire. Have Carl Icahn close a short position after buying a whole bunch of calls. Or Ryan Cohen, I still had an opportunity to buy another 8.5% of the company. Be a great time to do it. And just squeeze. Right? Just wring them out. So, Daphne, hope that answered your question. Okay. People talking about Wes Christian. Richard White, so spitball then. Why would a very successful person take on a company, take them out of debt to allow a short win? Yeah, I mean, they did the legit ways to be like, look, this company shouldn't be shorting. We have money and no debt. Now it's time for the trickery. Now it's time for the type of stuff like, preferred stock, crypto dividends, getting Carl Icahn to close his position while buying a whole bunch of calls, stuff like that. Fabrizio GME to Jackson Hunter quit YouTube and Twitter. I know he stopped doing YouTube finance-related videos. People were bullying him really bad. There's being just a bunch of shits. Jackson's a nice dude. He's a good guy. Man, I think he's just like, you know what? I don't need this for my own mental health. I totally get it. He doesn't have the personality like me, where if somebody trolls me as a dick, I go scorched earth. And I will destroy them for being dick. Jackson's like, what the hell? Quit making fun of me. Because he's just a nice dude. I'm less of a nice dude. And, if a bully comes in here and tries being an asshole, I'll bully them right back. I don't care. I think for his own mental health, he just like step back. Which, I like Jackson. He's a good dude. And if I'm in LA, I'm totally buying that guy lunch. Aaron O'Toole, can you explain what on earth is going on with BBBY this week? I can't. They didn't file, was it 10Q or 10K? Shoot. I forgot which one it was. 10Q? Wink. Okay. So we got all these weird reports. Oh, you guys can't see what I'm doing. So in their filing, we got report of unscheduled material events, corporate events, scheduled. Initial filing director, more than 10%. So these things here have to do with the notification form 10Q will be submitted late. So we have some weird forms here that should be submitted and aren't, because there's unforeseen events happening, and there's speculation that there's something happening on the Ryan Cohen Bed Bath & Beyond front that Ryan Cohen may be jumping back in, that he may be buying Baby off of them, and they might be doing a spin-off share or something. So they're supposed to be submitting all this stuff, and they had to file basically for an extension. And that speculation, I think, is getting people hungry, and they're going, ooh, something's going to happen. So that's the best I can do. Beyond that, don't know. So this is what they're asking. State below reasonable detail why Form 10K, blah, 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 blah. Transfer report could not be filed. Okay, reasons for delay. Based on business performance for the 3 months ending November 26, 2022, the company has determined the need for additional time to complete its quarter-end close procedures. These procedures include the evaluation of its results in conjunction with quarterly long-lived asset impairment testing as a result of financial performance. The company is updating the key inputs and estimates used to perform its impairment testing and assess the corresponding results. These processes require significant resources from the company's financial, accounting, and administrative personnel, and as a result, the company requires additional time to complete its quarterly review, including the preparation and finalization of its Form 10Q. For these reasons, the company has determined that it is unable to file its 10Q within the prescribed time period without unreasonable effort or expense. So they're saying shit's fucked up. We need more time. And for some reason people are like, yes! And buying. So that's as far as I know. Sad Boy Incorporated Houston, thoughts on why I shouldn't be able to own an AR AK in rural Texas. I know it's a hot potato in your opinion, and I want to hear your thoughts. They're a wild boar here at the Destroy Fields. I mean, I know the 30-50 Hogs Twitter thing that went famous. I mean, why don't they just hunt the wild boar out of existence? Because a lot of the wild boar in those areas are not native to the area, so use the law to go out and get them. Deplete the numbers. Introduce wolves again. The wolves will take care of them. So, but we hunted the wolves out of existence, and now we got ample prey running around doing what they do. The problem is not the use of ARs and AKs and whatnot on a bunch of hogs that destroy a field. The problem is the use of it on a bunch of school children, and it happens way too often. If you want, it is a weapon designed to kill people. That's the entire purpose. It's a high velocity, low mass round that's designed to fragment and like blow apart organs and bone and everything else. That's the whole reason the NATO round was created. And it is a machine designed to kill people. So I think rather than banning, we just regulate the militia. We just say, hey, if you want this stuff, you're going to go through classes. You're going to take a test. You're going to take a qualifying exam, use of the weapon. You're going to provide insurance, registration, licensing, and safe storage. So the things that are reasonable to expect in other countries around the world, whether it's Israel, Switzerland, Canada, whatever. And I don't think that's asking too much. If you're willing to be part of the militia, then you should be willing to like do what the commander-in-chief asks of you. That's the entire point of being in the militia. So, I don't think some hogs in Texas are good enough reason why my little sister's best friend was blown apart by an AR-15 with a swastika carved in the handle. Like, if you were to ask my little sister, would you rather have your friend back or have some redneck in Texas be able to blow away some hogs? She would say, I don't give a shit about some redneck in Texas being able to blow away some hogs. I want my friend back. Simple as that. And I think that's what it comes down to, is that time and time again, we have these high-powered weapons being used to blow apart just dozens of kids at a time. And it's gross. We need to have some sort of system in place that actually makes it hard to own these weapons and provides some liability if you do have them. 600,000 guns a year are stolen from their legal owners. 600,000. Stolen from legal owners because their legal owners weren't storing them properly. So there has to be some liability there, right? We have a 6-year-old that stole a gun and blew away his first grade teacher last week. That liability should fall on the owner of that weapon. So let's make a system that actually provides some liability for that person. I know San Jose is requiring insurance to be purchased for if you're going to license a weapon. So I don't see a problem with having liability insurance. Yeah, it might cost a lot of money to get the liability insurance. Okay, then don't carry around a machine designed to kill people if you aren't willing to pay the price that it takes to own such a weapon, man. So that's where I fall on that. Okay. Much better Houston sounds sexy. Got to the point where my levels I did have my levels way up too high. Well, I had to put Rose's levels up really high, so she's pegged all the way. She was pegged all the way up there. But I don't think I changed my levels since the last time I opened this thing, but I guess I must have. Free Wild, good Sabbath, good buddy. Did you watch Letterkenny Season 11? Also, can you talk about the underwater landslide in North Sea I sent you a link about? Please. Yes, I did watch most recent Letterkenny. It's lovely as always. Especially whenever Shorzy shows up. It's friggin' hilarious. Okay. The underwater landslides. Let's bring up ye old Google Earth. So, 6,000 BC or so, there was a series of landslides in the North Atlantic by Norway. There's some speculation as to what caused it, but these were mega tsunamis. Okay, so up here in Norway, we have this shelf here. See this guy? And if you look at the shelf, you can see that there's fracturing and things along here. And about 6,000 BC, there was a series of landslides where this thing, which is 9,000 feet below sea level. So it's about 3,000 foot cliff slash hill here. And there was a slide went and collapsed this thing. And it generated a landslide that ran over the Faroe Islands, ran over like the Orkneys and Scotland, and just put, you know, a tsunami that went like 30 miles inland, especially in through the fault zone where the locks are in here. And it just wiped out a whole bunch of druids basically. And there's over the course of what was 30 years, I can't remember quite the article, there was I think 3 of them that happened. Now the mechanism they think that caused these slides, they wanted 2 things. One, so this is during the ice ages, so this, if you see the continental shelf out here, all of this was essentially connected. Because a lot of this land in here is only a couple hundred feet below sea level, and sea levels had dropped by 400 or 500 feet. So a lot of this was open land. This out here in the Netherlands and Denmark, a lot of this was connected as well, because, you know, this is 100 feet below sea level, 110, 98. So this is all fields and prairies and plains through this whole region. And there were lots of folks that were living in this area. But if you're going to have a mega tsunami, something that washes a 500,000 foot, 2,000 foot wave, it will eat through this entire region and just mow through it. So they found evidence in what was the ancient shoreline in here of being wiped out by the tsunamis several times. So the 2 mechanisms they think happened was, one, it could be that the river systems that were here put a whole bunch of loose sediment along this cliff line essentially, and it was unstable and went blah. The other is there's lots of methane. This is where all the North Sea natural gas fields are, and that they think there was trapped methane that then went bloomp, had a bubbling event, and caused a huge landslide to come down. So those are the 2 mechanisms they think that caused it to happen. Pretty spectacular. I mean, can you imagine modern day Scotland facing a 2,000 foot tsunami? Run for the hills! It would be absolutely incredible. And the wave would just be gigantic. I mean, how quickly the shelf climbs up from 9,000 feet down where this trench is to like a couple hundred feet, that wave would just go vroomp and just destroy pretty much all of northwestern Europe. Be pretty darn crazy. There's your quick little explanation. It was an interesting article. I'd not heard about that event at all until he sent that thing to me, and I went, "Ooh, that's awesome. That's really awesome." Oh, and Fabrizio has a coordinate for us. We might as well go back to the old Google Earth and coordinate ourselves. Boom. We're going to Eastern New York. We're going to a hill out here, Allender Mountain. We have, looks like a little cabin there. So what? Allender Mountain, 2,239 feet, is a prominent peak in the South Taconic Mountains. Is located in southwest Massachusetts and adjacent to New York. Part of the summit is grassy and open, parts covered with scrub oak. Much of the mountain is blah blah blah. The west slope is located in Copac, New York. Point state line crosses. All right. Cool. What else is happening here? Anywhere I can drop this dude? Oh, there's a spot right there. Let's drop that dude right there. Boom. All right, looks like we have a camping cabin for hikers. Maybe Appalachian Trail? Looks snowy. What's that line all about? There's a line that is definitely showing something. Goes through the cabin. It's a laser beam going through the cabin, and I can't figure out why. The Raphael provided this camera here. Huh. Well, there you go. That's the cabin. That's our point. There's definitely a trail there. New York, Massachusetts. Bash Bish Falls State Park. Bash Bish. Bash Bish. says, hi, Daphne. Saw your art. Gorgeous. Again, I told you, Daphne makes some great art. Moneybags, good luck with your Seahawks this weekend. Well, you know, they tripped and stumbled in the playoffs. Good for them. I don't have much hopes for this season, but they made it further than I ever thought they would. I thought they'd be 4-12 in this season. Except they added a game, so they would be 4-13 because it's now a 17-game season. So, MTs, look at the bright side, not raising inflation. Not raising the debt ceiling would fix inflation. Yeah. I mean, well, it'll be a different type of inflation. We'd be trading in, like, I don't know, gold bullets and women or something. Says 54 BBBY got pumped and dumped. Wall Street Bets was full of people pumping this hype train. I think that might be a large portion of it. That, you know, I personally think I'm leaning towards Bed Bath & Beyond rejected Ryan Cohen. They adopted the Boston Consulting Group method of closing stores, taking on more debt, and destroying your company from the inside. That's what it felt like to me. So, there could be something out of the blue that's magnificent and totally works for everybody, but I will be pleasantly surprised if that is the case. Huge ass, is all the silence on MMTLP a good thing? Is there silence? I mean, John Berta is all over Twitter. He's talking to Charles Payne. Sounds like they might be doing like a full half an hour or 1 hour special with Charles Payne on naked short selling. He, Wes Christian, and a whole bunch of other CEOs of heavily shorted companies. And, you know, from the MMAT side, George made a post to StockTwits, basically said, don't take my silence as me not doing anything. And then he left it at that. So there probably are things in action and happening. But John Berta can talk about it because he resigned his position as a board member. He's like, I'm out. I'm going to talk about this shit. And that's what he's doing. The others who are still on the boards of the companies, they really can't say much. So their lawyers are going, shut up. And they're doing that. Ideas Matter 7707. Houston, can you postulate about the company Wes Christian was talking about when he said that we could see the amount of the largest amount of naked shorts ever? No. I mean, I like Get It Got's theory that he's talking about Sears. Because Sears is now out of bankruptcy. Their Sears holding stock should have been canceled and replaced with the newest one, but that QSIP still exists. And we're talking probably billions upon billions upon billions of shares there. Outside of that, what's the name of the company? The Share Intel? Is that the name of the company? The one that you can hire to like dig deep for you? And they, I don't know, access computers somewhere and figure out how many short shares there are. I don't know any of that data. No one's ever shown me the data that comes out of that subscription. I would love to see it. If any of you happen to have like $60,000 to pay for a subscription to Share Intel, show us what the data looks like. Maria Garcia, no matter what any politician tweets, I make it about MMTLP. Warren tweeted about Republicans trying to stop student loan forgiveness. I responded that we were waiting for MMTLP money to pay. As good as any. Be annoying. Be out there. Be annoying and be out there. Out there and annoying at all times. Oh, get it, monkey. Get it. Did you? Did you get it? He ate it. A moth just flew out of nowhere. Monkey just got that sucker. Good job. Was it delicious? Oh, nope, still going. Get it. Get it. Oh, it got away. It's up there now. It's in the light. You're never going to get it. You're never going to It's up there. See it? See it? See it? That's on the window. I'm going to go live on that window for a while. It's right up there. It's right there. Right there. Nice try, monkey. You need to get those chompers a little more chompy. It's a good try. Good effort. Valiant effort. Just, need to be better. Okay. Julianne, I kind of feel like if the House GOP starts playing with the debt ceiling, the Biden admin will just let the economy start free-falling by taking the finger off the scale. That's a great way to blame the Republicans for a collapsing economy. I mean, if you're trying to hold out as long as possible and not take the blame for it, you can immediately go, it's these guys' fault. They won't raise the debt ceiling. What am I supposed to do? And, it's all about, in politics, it's all about blame. If it's going to happen eventually, you may as well make it the other guy's fault. So if Republicans want the collapse of the economy on their hands, then they refuse to raise the debt ceiling. Simple as that. If you want your constituents eating cat food and living out of cardboard boxes, then don't raise the debt ceiling. It's pretty simple. Mathematical formula there. Okay. Tadoli, did I say that right? Tadolis. How many shares does TD Ameritrade have? 5 million. If so, it costs $500 per share. That's $2.5 billion. That's tough business. I think the estimates from Russ's survey so far is around 12 million. And I don't know if that's from what's been reported or if that's an extrapolation of the data. So, might be just what's been reported so far. Okay, where did I just lost my spot? I go, Larry Keller. Sorry, Larry Kiefer. I totally missed your super chat. I'm sorry about that. Did talk to the reporter from New York Times this week. He seemed very interested, but I guess we'll see. Yes, point him to others in the movement who can explain things and show him documentation and stuff. The CNN people said they were going to call me on Wednesday, and then they never called me. So, I'll message them back after this show and figure out where the heck they are. Okay. I gotta find where I was. I lost my spot. I totally lost my spot. Oh, looks like I lost a lot of spots here. Okay. Oh, there's Julianne. There is the TD question. Okay. Thomas Dubois wrote my senator today. Hopefully he doesn't find out I voted Republican. Yeah. I mean, again, it doesn't matter what side of the political spectrum you're on. When it comes to this type of stuff, there's actually a lot of bipartisan agreement. You'll note that the bill that gets presented in Congress every year to ban congressional trading is like the largest bipartisan bill we get. There's 35 co-sponsors from both parties. And now that Nancy Pelosi is out, there actually might be a chance that this thing comes to a vote. I haven't seen if Kevin McCarthy is one of those guys that trades stocks, but the folks that benefit from insider trading in Congress are on both sides as well. So having the bipartisan support to just end it entirely. You can't trade. Your family can't trade. Put everything to a blind trust. Shut up. That should be the rule. You should not use your position, get inside information on different companies that laws and contracts and things will affect, and then make yourself millions. That should not be the motive for being in Congress. The motive for being in Congress should be to legislate and represent your citizenry. That's it. If you are going to do that, you're going to have to sacrifice something to do that. It should be more altruistic than anything else. So we should be able to get both sides of the aisle to agree on this stuff. I mean, Berta and Charles Payne are as right-wing as it gets. They agree with AOC and the squad when it comes to how the market should be regulated and naked short selling should not exist. So you can get these two extremes to meet on this one issue. Why not use that to our advantage? I don't care if your congressman's Republican. I don't care if they're Democrat. Who cares? You can get a majority of them to agree on this, and let's go out there and do that. It might be the only thing everyone agrees on. So why can't we get it through Congress to ban naked short selling, to eliminate these swaps, to eliminate high frequency trading, to eliminate payment for order flow and dark pools, and all the other little things we need to level the playing field for everyone. Okay. I just lost track where I was again. There's some sort of conversation going on. Okay. Okay, there's a bunch of conversations going on. I just need to... Okay. First Ascent, you mentioned that Rule 15C11 made it possible for a market maker to get a security on the OTC with publicly available info last year, but that should apply to issuers, not to market makers. Yes, that rule specifically talks about issuers getting their stocks posted to the OTC, not market makers. Market makers are not issuers of stocks. They are dealers. They're broker dealers, right? They buy and sell. They're not issuers of stock. So GTS and one of the other one was called, I can't remember off the top of my head right now. When they got MMTLP trading, they were not the issuers of the stock. Therefore, they did not legally have the right to request that those shares become available to trade. Because the law specifically says issuers. We can look it up right now. All right, 15C11, sorry. Bam. Turn off the Google Earth. Go to the hoogity boogity. Okay, 15C2. Fixed income, no action. I want this one. Oh, 15.2C. Is that what, C2? Is that what it was? Okay, whatever. That's just a response to that. I want the actual rule. I guess we go here. Problem, quotations, response. So this is another proposal. I want the proposal. I want the interpretation of exchange, staff interpretation, potential impact. Just give me the stupid rule. Don't give me the people's opinions on it. Okay. Letter. No. Adoption. This is what we're looking for. Securities Exchange Commission recently issued a release, blah, 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 about the rule. Became effective June 1st, 1991. Important SEC rule for broker-dealers engaged in quoting non-NASDAQ over-the-counter securities in an inter-dealer quotation medium. To comply with the rule, a broker-dealer must gather, review, retain, file specified information about the issuer, being issuer, before initiating or resuming quotation for the issuer security. So they need to retain file specified information about the issuer. So they need to get stuff from the issuer about this before they're allowed to trade it. Broker-dealer must have in its records a copy of any trade suspension order. So it's going to say maybe, I don't know, an order that says this isn't allowed to trade, such as when they issued it. Finally, the rule expands the information to be gathered for any issuer that files periodic reports with the Commission. It requires a retention of all specified documents and information for the last 3 years. Lead time 3 business days for submission of a certain amount of information. I'm going to look for issuer. Mentioned 162 times. Requirement to make determination regarding source reliability is not new. In most circumstances, it is reasonable to consider the following parties as reliable sources: the issuer of the cover security, the authorized agent of the issuer, companies, attorneys, whatever, lending institution, information directly to the issuer. Where was the part that said SEC expressed concern about broker-dealers' compliance with the rule following expiration of a trading suspension issued under Securities Exchange Act. A suspension is a significant regulatory event that should alert broker-dealer to the possibility that existing information concerning the issuer may no longer be accurate. That's an important one. That the information may no longer be accurate. Remember, when GTS and the other market maker's name, I can't remember off the top of my head right now, when they sought to create a market for this, they used expired information from Torchlight that no longer exists, right? In this circumstance, broker-dealer should, at a minimum, obtain assurances and additional information regarding the matters cited in the suspension order or other matters affecting broker-dealer's reasonable belief as the accuracy of the information before attempting to resume quotations and relevant security. Where the source is typically the issuer or its agents is unable to provide reasonable assurances about the reliability of the information, the SEC recommends contact an independent accountant attorney. So in this case, they never talk to the issuer about making it tradable again. Oops. More stuff about the issuer. This is a long ass rule. More about trading suspensions. Okay. Past few years, commissioners have become increasingly concerned about the instances of fraudulent manipulative conduct involving transactions and low-priced securities, commonly referred to as penny stocks, many of which are traded in the non-NASDAQ market. The Commission is actively addressing penny stocks abuses through such measures as educational efforts, regulatory initiatives, enforcement actions, and trading suspensions. In this context, the Commission has focused on the role of market makers in facilitating the trading of certain penny stocks where, for example, available information about the issuer suggests that the fraudulent manipulative scheme may be present. So that's not really applied to us. That's more talking about halting. Okay, we got about 100 more issuer terms to go through here. All right. Sorry, I'm trying to scroll through 100 and whatever page document. Where is the one? I tweeted out somebody who had the exact language. Some commenters pointed out that wholesale market makers often ignore fundamentals, i.e. basic information about the issuer, and trade on the basis of perceived supply and demand of the quoted security. Bing! That seems to be exactly what they did. Information about the issuer, information about the issuer. Occasionally, broker-dealer may receive Rule 15C211 information about an issuer from another market maker or from someone other than the issuer or its agents in independent information service. In these situations, while the broker-dealer might be aware of the identity of the immediate source of the specified information, it might not have knowledge about the person that actually prepared the information. satisfy the rules requirements. When the broker-dealer is informed by the immediate source that the issuer has prepared or approved the rule-specified information, broker-dealer should generally verify representation by contacting the issuer directly. They never contacted the issuer. So they didn't do their due diligence, and they broke the rules. Okay. Where's the one? Okay, context by the issuer. So develop stage issuer, lists principal components, net worth, so the issuer's lines of business. Not about that. For example, the broker-dealer may reasonably believe the information is accurate after questioning the issuer directly. They did not do that. When information from the issuer is not adequate, it raises reasonable doubts on the part of the broker-dealer. Broker-dealer may wish to consult independent sources. So they didn't do that either. So they never contacted the issuer, which was metamaterial in this case, at all. Okay. Not talking about that. You get the idea. They were supposed to contact the issuer and get the permission, basically, and they never did that. So, yeah. Right, Monkey Butt? First Ascent, can you please discuss how Rosa is using this, if she is? I don't know if she's using this. She did mention in her most recent filing that it was never meant to trade. The company said it was never meant to trade, and they traded it anyway, based on information that was expired and old. So that was not FINRA doing its job, and that was those two broker-dealers breaking the fundamental rules in 15 C211 that said, you got to contact the issuer and get information, up-to-date information from them. And they lied to FINRA and said that up-to-date information when they're using information from a company that no longer exists. So, yeah. Okay. Kevin Fitzpatrick talking to Mike Fitzpatrick. There's a lot of Fitzpatricks going on there. And then there's a Larry Fitzpatrick. Oh my, there's too many Fitzpatricks happening in the chat right now. Kevin Fitzpatrick talking to Mike Fitzpatrick at SEC, and then Larry Fitzpatrick talking to Kevin Fitzpatrick, and I'm third. It's just, you know, what's the old joke about Patrick Fitzmichael and Michael Fitzpatrick? But Mike Fitzpatrick definitely fits in that one. Okay. Herman Hartner de-asked half of the presumed NextBridge shares from TDA to AST to begin filling it up for real. The other half keeps me with skin in the game if MTLP reopens, but I doubled my ask price to compensate. How did you afford to do that if they're asking like $500 per share? I know someone said that they talked them. They said, all right, we'll waive the fee. We'll send an email. Then they never sent an email to that person. How are you affording that, Herman? If TDA is charging so much money for the transfer. And FYI, I only got 25 minutes left. It's only a 90-minute show today. I got stuff to do. So in 25 minutes, I'm out of here. So it's a short one today, which is good because, again, my my voice is just failing me so constantly these days. Maria Garcia is the new SEC reporting program CAT going into effect January 23. Is it blockchain? It's not blockchain. The CAT system... crap. I can't remember exactly. It was supposed to go into effect like September of 21. and they postponed it, and they postponed it. It has to do with announcing positions. Ah, crap. I got to look it up again. It's been so long. Consolidated audit trail. That's what I'm looking for. So SEC established consolidated audit trail to enable regulators to track all order and trading activity throughout the U.S. markets for listed equities and options. So, basically, it's not a blockchain, but it is an open ledger that allows them to look at all these trades to and from and where they're going, basically. So SEC August 2020 data security proposal, which would, among other things, prohibit bulk downloading of cat data. It would strictly and clearly prohibit the use of cat data for any commercial purposes. So basically, you and I aren't going to have access to it. Only regulators are going to have access to it. So, which means, Freedom of Information Act requests, FOIA, monkey. Want to come up here and tell everyone about FOIA? Want to explain it to you? Monkey's saying you file Freedom of Information Act request with federal regulators, and they have to give you that data unless that data is being used perhaps in a law enforcement investigation, which is why they weren't able to give any MMTLP data to people when they did the Freedom of Information Act request. It's a good job. Good job, monkey. You know so much. Yes. No Revolution, Houston to 100,000 and more. Yeah. Let's get to 100,000 subscribers. Right, monkey? Yes. I don't know. I think I make too many people angry to get to 100,000. I cultured the followers I have by not bending to some of the jerks who want me to, not be me. How dare you have your own opinions? I cannot watch this show because you have your own opinions. Okay. See you later, man. All right. Jesse Paul, Scorched Earth Troll Dicks is a good metal band name. I just picture the album covers for it right now. Okay. Monkey, why are you staring at me like you're staring at me? There's nothing here. Nothing to eat. The cat's not on your bed. You do not have to just stare at me like that. Owen Saunders, Evening Pal, I'm not going to lie. I can't help but feel like we'll be screwed with MMTLP. I want to feel like Forrest Gump, where he says he doesn't have to worry about money anymore. I can understand, people being down the dumps on some of these things, going, oh, bummer, man. But, keep fighting. Just go do it. What else are you going to do, right? You can mope, or you can spend that same energy kicking ass. And that's my opinion on that. Shop my life away. Thanks for all you do. Thank you as well. Hope life in New York is going well for you. Okay. William Morgan, Trey Spider just got John Berta, Wes Christian, and 3 other CEOs on Charles Payne. I got John in last time. Any doubt? Ask Houston. That's true. William Morgan has been working hard. He's been getting these dudes all together. And good job on you, bud. Good job. Blank, why would my NextBridge have Core Pack next to it and the U3 Halt still on? Anything the brokers are doing right now is completely just completely seat of their pants. They're making it up as they go along because they have no direction from FINRA as to what they're supposed to be doing. And part of the problem is that once the stock becomes non-trading, like it's removed from all exchanges such as NextBridge, It's no longer FINRA's problem. So FINRA's like, well, it's not even our problem anymore because it's not a tradable stock. Well, you made it a problem before it became untradeable. So you got to fix that first. And that's what Rose is arguing. So the brokers are just, they're making it up as they go along. Because they don't know how to allocate these shares because there's too many people who claim to own shares. And until you shave off a few 100 million owners or a few 100 million shares, you cannot allocate them because they can't get allocated one-to-one because they're paper, remember? You can't split up that paper. You can't make an electronic trail. So I don't know how they're going to do it. I don't think they know either. They're waiting for somebody above their pay grade to just say, do this. And then they'll do that. Okay. All right, so we got Sebastian Andrew being a complete dick in here. Yeah. Well, I'm just gonna boink. There we go. Don't be racist in my chat, please. Just don't. Don't be racist in my chat. Okay. Sebastian Andrew, don't come on my channel again. I'll tell you that much right now. Like, get out of here. You are... Just be gone. Be gone. Yeah, we're going to report that one. Okay. Sorry. Report that one too. Don't be racist in my chat. Okay. Thank you, Daphne, for taking care of that dude. Just pisses me off. Okay. 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 I'm gonna get past, whenever someone brings up guns in the chat, then it just becomes a mess for a while. And you guys know my position. I went through a 2-year period where I lost a lot of people in my life to, mass shootings and other senseless violence that could easily be regulated if we regulate the people who own weapons. That's my point. Is that, if, say, you have a bunch of drugs in your system all the time, maybe you shouldn't own guns. Right? If you got a history of mental health problems, maybe you shouldn't own guns. Stuff like that. And to make that access to them a lot harder. Jimmy D, Houston, I love you. I love you too, Jimmy D. Love you too, my man. Okay. FIRAM's AMC, I'm stuck, unable to transfer my MMTLP to AST because I can't afford the transfer fees. That seems to be a thing. When they tell you that they're going to charge you these transfer fees, show them the S1 where it says it doesn't cost any money, and show them AST saying it doesn't cost any money. So ask them what that fee actually means if there's actually no fee being charged by the company, because that seems to be fraud. So just throw that fraud word out there and say, hey, you're committing fraud by saying that you're going to charge me for this, by blaming other people for these fees, but these fees don't exist. So do that. Oh crap. And then the chat reset again. This just loves doing. Okay. Where'd you go? All right, Lucy in the Sky. Master Miller saying, I think there's too much collateral tied to student debt, just like mortgage CDICs, that if they full out unwind that debt, there will be a huge hole in the financial system. Yes-ish. Thing is, like a lot of the student debt that's out there, people have paid off more than what the debt was at this point. And, you know, they say they took out $100,000 for student loans. And over the past 15 years, they paid back $125,000 of it. And they still owe $130,000. So the interest on the debt, especially in debt from the Bush administration, when they took off the caps on student loans, so sometimes the rates were like 9-10%, just insane. That the interest rate is expanding faster than anyone can cover. And so it is like the expanding universe. It's dark energy taking over. And people end up paying forever. They physically cannot pay it off unless they win the lotto. And an easy way to like do that is to go, look, this person's paid more than what they owed. Yeah, they're done. That's it. And wipe all those out right off the top. And just claim them paid. Done. And so if there's anything collateralized with that, well, then they got their money and then some, and okay. Kind of how, what's his butt? The lawyer was unwinding the Bernie Madoff liabilities. Like he's like, some people took money out and they got more than they put in. We're going to have to claw that money back from them. They can look at people who have paid off more than what their debt was and be like, okay, you're done. And then focus on what's left. And that would shrink the pool a lot, and I think would do a good job in giving us an understanding of where we stand financially with the student loan stuff. And on top of that, instead of subsidizing student loans, just subsidize the colleges and make colleges tuition free like other countries do. Rather than saddling these 22-year-olds with lifetimes worth of debt that will sit on their back forever. We need educated people in our society. We need it. That's what makes our economy chug, is having smart people do smart things. And if we saddle all of them with all this debt, they're stuck. They get stuck in jobs they can't leave because, you know, they got to think about their debt. So they can't actually pursue oftentimes whatever their expertise was in their field because they've got to worry about this debt. So they get stuck in jobs that they shouldn't be working. That's against what their expertise was. For the stupid, if I had 60K, I'd pay for a clone of Monkey Butt. Monkey Butt, would you like a clone? You would. It'd be a good clone. It would roll its eyes better than anybody, right? Yes. Yes! Look at this. Look at those eyeballs. Look at those eyeballs right there. Monkey Butt. Yeah. Side-eye McGee over here. Okay. Ron Sampson, Mass Awareness Day, January 27th, 28th at all SEC locations. Demonstrate, be heard. Anniversary of buy button taken away. 27th, 28th is a weekend, isn't it? I think, you know, I understand you make protests on the weekend because people have the day off. But nobody at the SEC is going to be there to see it because it's the weekend. They're all home. We need like general strike type strike where we don't go to work and we go and protest while they're at work to make them uncomfortable. Because they'll be at home the entire weekend going, there's a protest at work yesterday? Oh, whatever. And they're back at it. Jeffrey R., thanks for putting out all the videos you do, Houston. Whether I agree with you or disagree, I respect your point of view. Keep doing what you do. Thank you, Jeffrey. Thank you. I mean, there's a lot of people who disagree. Like William Morgan and I, complete opposite ends of the political spectrum, but we get along. He is also my information dumper. He just wake up, look at my phone, like, oh crap, there's a lot of news happening today, because he is just brump, put a funnel up to the phone and just dumped it all in. Okay. J-Dog says, go Seahawks. Yeah, go Seahawks. Local Wizard, wish you and Bigums would do a show together. We were supposed to last fall, and then it fizzled. I don't know if he wants to do a show with me anymore, because I don't agree with what Adam Aaron's currently doing, selling to hedge funds. And I don't know. I have no problem discussing and debating. I love it. But I don't know if he'd want to do one with me now. Decatur Raw was shaking Houston. Monkey Butt is such a sweetheart for letting the cat chill until Monkey Butt is fed up. Yeah, Monkey Butt's got like a 90-minute limit of letting the cat chill. But the cat's, who knows where the cat is right now. EI, Houston, please explain for me how, when we would benefit by holding long shares of NextBridge hydrocarbons. Will it only be when another company buys NextBridge? Is that the dividend payout? That's the speculated reason. They've been looking for somebody to buy the oil fields off of them. And in that case, the company ceases to exist. Anybody who holds shares then gets a cash payout. So, and there's an off chance that all of a sudden they start producing or whatever, but they're going to need a much bigger capital infusion to do that. And I think for the most part, they just kind of want to be done with it and get their money and just be like, peace. So finding a big oil company to do a buyout is probably the best thing. And right now, in the United States, it is the largest oil field available for sale. So you'd think that there'd be people lining up to get, billions of barrels of oil. Oh, did you get it? Did you murder? Nope, it's behind you, monkey, right here. Look, right there, right there, right there, right there. It'll go back to the ceiling. Yeah, it's back at the ceiling. You lost it. Oh, well. Oh, nice try. Nice try. Oh, right there. Look. See? Get it, monkey. Right there. It's above you, right above your head. Oh, there it goes. Where'd it go? Oh, it's underneath you, right under your belly, right there. Next to you, monkey's next to you. It's on your butt, monkey. It's on your butt. Right there. Look. Oh, snagged. Oh, I think did you guys get that? Yeah, nailed it, dude. You got it. I think my chair might have been in the way though, from that murder spree, but she got it. Okay. All right. Good job. Come here. Good job. You ate it. It was delicious, I bet. If Chech, we're a family, got all my Fitzpatricks with me. All right. Thomas Dubois, I actually got the script sent to me from TD. It currently costs nothing to transfer from TD to AST, 6 to 8 weeks, but everything is subject to change. You must have had enough people yell at them and say, what are you doing, man? And that's what's happening. I get it now. Okay. Jason Blackwell, Houston. Gandalf was a great manager, but he was nothing without his staff. Thank you, Jason. Thank you so much. And Jason does do a great weekly meme for the show every week, and it's quite funny. Kevin Rayonen, I'm saying it right correctly now. Just finished working 6 10s in a row. 1 day weekend starts now. Got home. Time for your stream. Thanks for kicking off the weekend right. Well, have fun Sunday. Starting it all over again. Okay. Okay, more people on conversations. Lots of conversations. I've only got a couple minutes left, and then I got to run away. Okay, there's IE. Go across that. Let's go through there. Propagating plant parts. What happened to Cat Striker and Pam the Trader? It's been a while. Some people just dematerialize, and you just don't hear from them again. They may have just been like and left. I don't know. Zach Delia. Now, if regulators punish anyone, that's a different effing story. Ha ha ha. We all know they won't. That's the thing. And when they do punish them, like, it's a slap on the wrist. A company, a very famous company owned by a former president, just got convicted for 15 years of tax fraud in the state of New York, and they got fined $1 million. So, if the tax fraud gets you away with hundreds of millions of dollars in fraud, why are you only being fined $1 million and not hundreds of millions of dollars that was the fraud? Like the punishment for the fraud should be the amount of the fraud and then some. It's like actually make it a punishment, not less than the fraud, so that you can do it again because you've made a bunch of money that time. That when that happens, yeah. Okay. Damn, and late. What did Andrew say? Andrew was saying some very anti-Semitic stuff and just being a Nazi in the chat. So Daphne took care of him. He's gone now, and I don't need that. I don't want that. I don't need it. And don't be a Nazi. Larry Fitzpatrick, housing market is dropping before my eyes, looking for another home, and I get lots of emails daily. Yeah. The amount of time that homes remaining on market is starting to extend. Here, it was like 3 days. You put a home on the market, you get an offer, it'd be sold 2 days later. Now, these homes are on the market for like weeks at a time, and we're starting to see price cuts where there weren't price cuts before. Because you'd put a home on the market and you get something for 20% over asking in cash. And now you put a home on the market and it sits there and it sits there and it sits there and it sits there. So you reduce it and it sits there and it sits there and it sits there. So you reduce it again. And eventually, they're getting buyers. But when they do get buyers, it's probably cash buyers because people who have to take out loans on these things, they can't afford it. A home, a $600,000 home in 2021, your mortgage payment is the same now on like a $250,000 home. That's the difference that much interest rate makes. So the amount of home you can afford is so much smaller than it was a year and 2 weeks ago. So, the pool of available buyers are shrinking, especially for middle class homes in that middle range. When you could have afforded a $600,000 home and now you can afford a $250,000 home. And in some areas, there are no $250,000 homes. You won't be able. I mean, if we could, let's go to Windermere right now. It's a local Bainbridge guy created Windermere Real Estate, and let's just look in Washington State. Okay, boom. Let's just look at home in Washington here. We're gonna set our price at minimum price. Minimum price could be what max. Maximum price we'll put at $250,000, which is where a $600,000 home was. So the state of Washington, there are plots of land. So let's look at some filters here. Let's single story. What else we got? I want to get rid of land. How do I get rid of land on here? Luxury premium. Here, that's what it is. So we want get rid of land, get rid of farm or ranch, get rid of that. Okay, so we got those ones. All right, let's play. So 1 bedrooms, $235. We got 2 bedroom, $249 in a condo. All right, you get a mobile home for $229. Mobile home, mobile home, mobile home, mobile home, mobile home. $69,000 out there in Moxie, out here in the middle of nowhere. $215 up here in the very top corner. So you get yourself an actual house on property for $215 out in the middle of nowhere where there's no grocery stores. Kennewick, Southern Washington. This is meth country. Mobile home, 600 square feet in Pasco, Eastern Washington. So you can live in Eastern Washington. Bremerton, mobile home, $185. There's one in Western Washington, and that's it. So under $250, which is the equivalent of a $600,000 house mortgage payment wise as a year ago, there are just a handful of houses, and most of them are mobile homes. And who wants to pay $100,000 for a falling down single wide, right? These are all mobile homes. Mobile home, mobile home, mobile home. There, mobile home, tiny homes. Versus what if someone's selling a $600,000 house? This is what you could buy for the same price a year ago. Price max 600, min 575. Apply. These are real homes, right? These are actual houses. 1,700, 1,800, 2,000 square feet, 2,500, 579. This looks like a waterfront house somewhere on a lake near Spokane. Condos in downtown Seattle. Real actual houses and not mobile homes in this price range. And no one who could afford this house a year ago can afford it now because of the interest rates. That's where we are. That's the difference those interest rates make. These are all like legit houses versus tiny little mobile homes. Boom. Well, it's only 1 bedroom in Seattle, but Seattle itself, that's filthy rich. Okay, I'm going to scroll down. I should have logged off 3 minutes ago. Meow Meow, #1 fan, fantastic. Zankar wants Gardner to be featured guest on the show. I don't know if Gardner will ever be a featured guest on the show. He's here for another day. I think he flies back to Nova Scotia on Sunday. Hopefully I get to hang out with him tomorrow. But, he's a busy man, does busy things. He had a great time at CES, and I can't believe that Syntax actually gave him a noogie. I said, "Why are you there? See Gardner, give him a noogie," and she gave him a noogie twice, apparently. Okay. Eric, it seems brokers are starting to just register AST to no charge to fill up their quota. Then trading either resumed or they just stopped answering customer service. Once AST is full, they don't care. I mean, once it's full and you are one of the folks not in there, they're going to have to buy your shares or something. They're going to have to do something to close that up, because once it's full, then you go, "Hey, can I transfer?" And they go, "I cannot." You're like, "But I have a legal right to transfer. Why won't you let me?" So that might be a reason why they're doing that 120, is trying to force as many people to transfer as possible. And so if they do open up a gray market, they don't have to worry about the ones in AST anymore. AST has to worry about that. They only have a set number that they have to worry about in their brokerages. Okay. All right, it's 4:35. I got to get going. I want to thank everybody so much. I should be doing some Twitches maybe tonight and tomorrow. So look for me on Twitch. And Twitch is wonderful. We just kind of, like 10 people show up and we just kind of have a lovely evening. And it's relaxed and it's great. Otherwise, I'll see you on Monday. And then after my regular show on Monday, I will be back on Graham Elwood's show. I think he wants to talk about Tether because lots of news coming out that Tether is about to crash really, really hard. So he'll probably want to talk about that. So that's what we're going to do. Anyway, Monkey Butt, anything to add? It's not quite dark outside yet, so regular outro it is. Boom.